My guest is Alex Lovelock, also called Maverick Medium, who joins me tonight to talk about his life's journey and his recent near-death experience. Welcome, Alec, to the show.
Good evening, Tress. Thanks for having me.
And what would you like to discuss tonight? Would you like to go back to how it all started in the beginning for you?
Well, yeah, I can tell you, when I had my first experience, I suppose, but I didn't know it was an experience at the time, obviously. I was around about 4 years old. Couldn't have been any more than that. And I was in bed, awake, and I had what you could describe, I suppose, as a vision. And this vision was of a river with two fields either side and a bridge going over the river. I was one side of the river, but I weren't allowed onto the bridge. Obviously, I didn't know what this was then. And bearing in mind, I lived in South London, and I can assure you there was nothing like rivers, fields, might have the occasional blue sky, and that was it. And I remember now, I just thought this must be heaven, and that was the beginning. Them things obviously happened through my younger years, and I always had a fascination in ghosts. So I used to talk about it quite a lot, and it weren't really until my mum passed when I was 13, and that's when things really started to heat up. And there was the usual, I suppose, they call it poltergeist activity, but thinking back on it, maybe it wasn't poltergeist. Doing what I do now, I look back and think, this day, well, this little kid, he can hear us, or he can see us, but I didn't want to know. And I think that may be why they kept on at me, as they have done throughout my life.
Something that happened quite a lot with you when you were younger then.
But I have to say, my dad, he was out either working or playing drums, so I was left alone quite a lot. And I remember I could feel what they call energies now. Everyone uses that word, but you could feel it coming towards me as I was in the chair, and I couldn't move. It pinned me in the chair. And also lots of other things, but I had witnesses to this as well, some of these activities. So it wasn't like, a teenager's imagination. And that was the beginning, really.
Right, very interesting. Yes. So did that happen, as I say, quite a few times as you were growing up when you were younger?
Yeah, it happened all the time.
Ghosts and all sorts of things like that.
It was happening all the time. And in those days, there was no one that you couldn't talk to anybody. They just say, "Oh, take him to a doctor or a psychiatrist or whatever." But when I was 17, I was working local, and I come home lunchtime, and came in. I think I come in the back way, and the dinner table had been laid: cups, plates, saucers, cutlery. Now, I weren't one for sitting at the table, so I reckon that was my mum saying, this is what you should be doing. But that was pretty freaky, because me and my dad both went out at the same time. He didn't go home. I hadn't been home. Yeah, there was milk in the cups. It was quite something.
Yeah, and how old were you when that happened?
17.
You were 17, so you were quite young to sort of understand what was going on or not understand what was going on. Yes.
Usual thing. I mean, yeah, I think it was 15 at the time. A mate of mine, friend of mine, we were talking about Ouija boards. and he came round with a box of letters and numbers and set them out on the table with a glass in the middle. And I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, not really. And but I'm sure all youngsters do it anyway. And fingers on the glass, and as it started to move, and it spelt out a name. And I said, that's the name of one of our RI teacher, religious instruction teacher. And with that, the glass shut off. And with that, we packed up the letters and the numbers. No more.
That was an end.
So he must have, maybe he passed, yeah. I'll never forget that. No, I wouldn't recommend it, but I think
it's quite a thing in the 70s, 80s was Ouija boards. 60s, I think that's it all came out about that time, didn't it?
But they were using Ouija boards long before that.
Yes. Yeah.
And they still do. And people say, do you think you should use them? Well, I don't know. It's not for me to say, is it?
Yeah. I particularly myself wouldn't use a Ouija board. Yeah.
But then I don't need to now. So
no.
But
yes.
it was an experiment, and that was it. Never again. I haven't touched. I may have had a little dabble since I've been doing this work, but I don't particularly like it.
Did you ever think when you were 17 that you would end up doing this kind of work in mediumship and that, or you really didn't know?
I didn't think I'd be doing it 15 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
It wasn't my... No, I went to a couple of churches and I thought, I don't think I fancy that. Traipsing around the countryside doing this. But they had different ideas for me. But getting back to my younger days, I mean, I was always trying to do something because I was a guitar player, a bass player, and I used to have in the what they call the front room. I had a Sony tape deck, like the old Revox, what they used to use in the recording studios, double tracking and all that. And I used to spend hours in there, not playing music, trying to get voices on the tape.
Oh, interesting.
And used to spend hours in there. Think, come on. I know you're in here. I was brave then because there was other people in the house. Wouldn't be so brave on my own. And I thought, come on, you've got to speak. And we're going back to the early 70s now. Well, the funny thing is, I went to a spiritualist church and my dad came through. He passed on my birthday in 1996.
Right.
And he came through and the medium said, your dad's saying he understands now what you were trying to do. So I can only imagine he meant trying to get the voices on the tape.
Yeah, because there's more understanding when you do go over to the other side. You realise a lot.
But it never worked. It's a shame because with that sort of equipment, you should have been able to get it.
Yes.
So yeah, I've always sort of dabbled, and I'll say it's been part of my life since I was 4. But I didn't think about doing the mediumship.
So how did you get into the music side of your career over the years? How did you...
I don't know, but the old man was a drummer. And he had a piano as well. And but when he was at work, I used to get his drums out, give him a good hammering,
Yeah.
The neighbours loved me. And used to open the windows up. I'm still an annoying person now, but I was even more so then. And
do you still play the drums just now?
I couldn't play the drums then. And then he come home one day and he caught me on them. But that's all right, don't worry about it. And then when I was 11, started to play, picked up guitar, sort of 12. Then we had the electric guitars, managed to, get the old man. And with kids, we had no money. And so we all somehow got guitars off the parents. And yeah, we sit round there in the front room. I say the windows open, couldn't play anything, just make a racket. And that's how it all started.
Mm-hmm.
And been doing it ever since.
Mm-hmm. Did
again,
you travel? Did you travel when you were doing your music with your band?
Not until later on. I started off playing in the local youth clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And did, I think it was 1969. We did a thing in Beckenham. It was I don't like this sort of name dropping. It was a Dave Bowie thing for. Mm-hmm. He just got that record out, Major Tom, or whatever it was called. And yeah, we was on that bill with a lot of quite well-known people. There's us like kids, 16-year-olds,
mm-hmm.
and he gives us a chance, get up and play. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was good. It was fun. Didn't know it was going to be that massive. So say we were kids, 16, 17 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's good that when the celebrities like that give the younger ones a chance to, show what they can do. Yeah.
And don't know, the rest is, I went off, I was with a band, Peer Gint they were called. And again, we went off and we used to support bigger bands. And I remember we supported ELO on their first ever gig in Croydon, a place called The Fox, I think it was called. Yeah. And yeah, that Roy Wood was a nice guy. Had a chat with him. Yeah, we met a lot of people.
Yeah, that was in the times when all the groups were starting to make their way, wasn't it?
It was. It was their first gig, and we hadn't been going long. And that's what I did for a time. And then I, again, still involved with the spirit people. And then, probably 1971, 72, I went for an audition for a band and ended up backing a lot of American bluesmen. Now that was good. That was fun. We've got Germany, Belgium, up and down the country. Yeah. Never made any money, but it was fun. Yeah. And I remember we stopped at for a cafe on the M1. Everyone used to call it there, and the Kinks were there. And talking to Mick Avery, the drummer. Ray Davis was wandering around. Don't know what planet he was on. Again, nice blokes. And then, about 73, I think it was Eric Van Daniken. I read one of his books, Chariots of the Gods. And that got me onto the UFOs.
Right.
And everything else, And that was it, really.
What was the name of your band at the time?
It was a band called the Sunflower Blues Band. They were well known. They were quite well known in the 70s. I stuck with them for about a year, maybe. Again, I was only 21, 22. And yeah, I went out to Germany a few times with them, and again, you meet lots and lots of people. Yeah, I met some people, musicians who I sort of admired and thought, wow, I can't believe I'm actually talking to these people, these guys,
Yeah.
And we used to do the Marquee Club in London, quite a lot, 100 Club. And I remember we were there one Tuesday, and there was an American jazz pianist called Errol Garner. And I think it was one of his last gigs before he passed.
Right.
Really lovely guy. I don't know, you meet these people, and I always found that if you're sort of okay with these guys, people think they're big rock stars. But it was either one Friday night I'd done a gig, and the guy who owned the market, I was talking to Ian Hunter from Motley Hoople, and I think the gay bloke's name was Jack Barry, who run the place. He said, "Oh, I've got no one for tomorrow night. I've got no support band." So Ian Hunter, he's still around, by the way. He said to me, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Well, so we got a band together." And Motley Hoople then were big megastars.
Yeah.
So there was I for 1 hour at the Marquee in London. I was a superstar. I think we got £2 each.
Oh.
And but the thing is, it was the experience.
Definitely, yeah. It's all experience.
And I don't know if Ian Hunter would be watching this, but if you are, hello, mate. Wouldn't remember me. But what a night, yeah. And we got up there, and I say I was like with these megastars for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good fun.
It is. It's all your road you travel, isn't it? Meeting different people in life,
but it's like a lot of things. You get so far,
and
you just can't get that bit more. No matter how good you are. I have spent hours playing. I still do. But
so how many guitars do you have?
I've got 5 now. Yeah, 5 fingers, 5 guitars, you know. But
you don't play them all at the one time, but
no, I think I'm an octopus. No, but I said to a few people, we were 4 years too late for the big blues push, and we were 4 years too old for when the punk come in. You know, you kind of missed it.
Yeah.
I just think and look at it and say, well, that's life. That's the way it goes. But we had a good time. Met a lot of people. Did a lot of gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, just fun and enjoying yourself. Yeah.
And then I give it up until it was 1984. And this is where the spirit world come in.
Right.
Because I was sitting indoors one Sunday, and I just got this urge I'd heard about this place to grab my guitar, the Strat, and an amp, and I went to a place near Waterloo in London, and they had a jam session.
Right.
And I thought, I walked in there, and it was busy. And come and plug in then. I said, yeah, all right, you know. And bloke come up to me, American, and he said, I've got some gigs in France, a couple of weeks. Do you want to come? I said, oh, don't give me all that, mate. I've heard all that when I was 18. You know. You come in with the airline tickets a week later, end up going down to the south of France. And then came back from there, and then we did a big rock festival at Donington Park. I thought, God, this is all right, you know.
Yeah.
You're not making no money out of this. It's all like freebies, really. And then we went back to Monte Carlo, and what was that noise? And played at a place called the Stars and Bars, which was like a big kind of blues club restaurant. And you think, well, you know, this is great, isn't it? You know, makes a change from getting up and going to work or whatever you do.
So what kind of music did you play? What kind of songs? And
I like the blues stuff.
The blues, yeah, that was quite popular in those days, wasn't it?
Also like some jazz stuff. I like, you know, things like AC/DC and heavy rock, like that. Iron Maiden.
Yellow, do you like Yellow?
Not so much, no.
No?
No. I remember doing a gig at Marquee with those Scottish rockers, Nazareth.
Yeah.
Oh, they were good. Nice and loud. I think they're still going as well. But then things started to happen again with the spirit world. And I decided I'd go to a spiritualist church. And
how old were you then? when you decided to go to the spiritual church?
Very old.
Oh. So it was later on in life after you.
I don't know, about 40 or maybe 40.
So you'd left the music behind a bit.
Lights used to flicker on and off, and I thought this is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to this church, and I don't know. It was this place. It looked like a funeral parlour. I thought, I don't like this. I found it quite creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And I left it for a while, and then I went to another one. And this is where it all kind of started, about 2004. And went to this little church. Didn't know what to expect, really. And there's two old girls sitting on the door, hello, dear, come in, and all that. And I thought, right, I'm going to go and sit by the wall, halfway up. It's only a tiny little place. Mm-hmm. Sit by the wall. Nothing can get to me then, can it? And I was with someone else. And I thought, this is going to be, wonder what's going to happen here tonight. Because a friend of mine had passed, and his mum used to go. She said, we had a little girl skipping down the aisle last night. I thought, this is going to be good, isn't it? This is going to be a night to remember. Yeah, it was. Hymn number 1, hymns, prayers, up and down, hymns, prayers. For Christ's sakes, I'm in the wrong place, Right. And then the medium got up, and I thought, I couldn't do that. And then a voice from the wall said, you're going to do that? I don't think so, mate. You're going to do that? And I thought it's these two old biddies with a tape recorder or something, Mm-hmm. Thinking we'll trick him, this newbie. And it started to get cold. And I thought, there's something going on here. Mm-hmm. And little did I know, but that was the beginning. Mm-hmm. That was the start. And I sat in a circle, what they call a development circle. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get on with it. It's not what I don't know what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that. And it went on, and someone put me in touch with a lady called Catherine. And she took me under a wing. And she looked at me and she said, you've got passion for this. I said, am I? Whatever. Mm-hmm. And within 6 months, she had me working on the platform with her. And she pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And that was really the start. But even before that, I did have a message from the platform, the medium. And he said, you're going to be a maverick.
Right.
What's he talking about, Maverick? The only Maverick I knew was James Garner in the cowboy film, playing cards. Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's on about, but I do now.
Right.
The Maverick
you got your name from that then. That's how it all happened. Maverick.
He said, you'll be a Maverick. But I didn't know what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. And as we've gone on, mm-hmm. I thought, these stupid rules. This is nonsense. This is it's nonsense.
How many years were you doing it before you suddenly thought, well, I'm feeling it's a bit...
About 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. I thought,
3 weeks.
I can't. Right. This is mm-hmm. nonsense. Mm-hmm. Because I've always gone my own way, even with the guitar. Mm-hmm. I thought, no, there's got to be there's always an easier way, isn't there? It might not be the best way, but it's always an easier way. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in 2012, I saw an advert. I still didn't know where I wanted to go. It still wasn't what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see the spirits. I wanted things to happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting it now all the time. Mm-hmm. And I went to, I saw an advert, I don't know, Psychic News or somewhere, for a physical mediumship conference for 5 days in Eastbourne. Mm-hmm. I said to a friend of mine, she said, yeah, let's go. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what to expect. But when we walked into this hotel, There was all these people milling around, and they were so different to the churchy type mental mediums. There was none of this. Oh no, I'm going to upset people, but with the mental type stuff, everyone knows this. And I found that nobody knows very little. I went into this with all these physical mediums, and they were friendly. There was none of this like, look at me. And I thought, oh God, I feel comfortable in here. Anyway, again, I didn't know what to expect. And the first session was, I think it was with Scott Milligan. And we went in this room, about 30 of us. And they said, if once you're in here, you can't get out. That's enough to put you off. Once you're in the room, you can't get out because you'll ruin everything, you know. So they seal the doors up.
Right. So they keep you all in that room with the doors shut while you're sitting in the
So if you need to go to the toilet or something, you've had it.
You have to go before you actually start.
Yeah. Although sitting in there, I mean, you know, you think, oh my God.
That makes you want to go if you're not able to go out the door. Oh,
and there was this seance cabinet. I didn't have a clue what was going to happen. And they said, right, everyone hold hands. I thought, oh, yeah. And the reason why is so is you know that if anybody moves, then the lights went out. Oh, my God.
And this was all sort of new to you.
I've never, no.
Yeah.
But I'd been getting messages about I'd had a message coming into, but I didn't realise at the time what it was. And it was about the way spiritualism is now, or was going. And as the lights went down, I saw a man stand in front of me. Oh, I thought, God, that's like Leslie Flint. A voice then said from out of the air, hello, Leslie here. I thought, oh my God, is this a joke? You know, somebody winding us up here. And then he said, today's the modern spiritualism is just watered down mush. And I thought, I said that.
So this actually came out?
This came out of direct voice.
Okay.
We all heard it. And I thought, I said something similar to that. And that is when I began to kind of get a bit of an understanding. I think, well, this is guides and whatever. And so it went on. But on the Wednesday, it was so, I suppose the word's intense. I thought, I can't do this anymore. Come lunchtime, my head couldn't take anymore. But a friend of mine who was there, he said, just stick with it. And I did. And at the time, I hadn't long bust my leg and ankle, and I had a walking stick. And a guy called Terry Tasker said to me just before we went home on the Friday, he said, come watch this. And he got the table, when the table started to spin. And he said, come on. I said, oh, he said, come on, come and have a go. And this table run me. I couldn't keep up with it. I just couldn't keep up with this table. And that was my first introduction to table tipping.
Right.
People say, oh, it's rubbish, it's this. I can assure you it's not. And that table was going so fast, I couldn't keep up with it at all.
It's something that I've never seen is table tipping. It sounds quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I do it, sit here on my own and do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I would have got you to do a demonstration if I had known. Maybe another time.
Yeah. But people say it's a fix, it's this, it's not a fix. And in all the time I've done this, I've never tried to cheat anybody.
No.
I've never made things up. I don't see the point of it. What's the point? And I don't make anything from it money-wise. So I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Is there any particular sitting that always stays with you that you did over your time? You know, something that
With somebody else or with
someone that
me?
you sat with, or you always sort of feel that you remember that one person or sitting, or?
I remember the first one in that room.
Mm-hmm.
I also, at the same conference, I was, got all nervous in my stomach. I was, again, we got called out,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to take the seance trumpet. It was in midair,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled on the trumpet, and I could hear the control laughing. I put the thing down, and then I got this terrible burning pain around my middle of my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, I couldn't see because it's pitch black. And then we all had to go out, and we shook hands to a hand that wasn't attached to anything. Now that was, I mean, you know, now I think this is this is mad. This is just too much. You know, I'm new to all this.
Mm.
And there I am shaking hands to a hand that's not attached to a body. And it reminds me of a film when I was a kid with a hand playing the piano. Never forget it, some horror thing in black and white. And
or the black and white film where the hand comes down the back of the sofa.
Yeah, and he plays the piano. And I thought, oh God, it's like that.
I remember that as a child.
Oh, you're as old as me then. But when the lights came on, I looked. I've got these burns around my middle, and I didn't complain. But I've often wondered how come this has happened. I've asked mediums, physical mediums,
right,
and I'm wondering whether it was a clash of energies.
Yeah, and this is the same time as when the hand was.
Yeah, it's just before the hand. It's before the hand. Before the hand popped out. Yeah, and yeah, I've asked mediums. I said, I don't know, and I wondered, and I said, I'm not complaining. It happened because I know mediums when the ectoplasm comes from them, like Helen Duncan from Edinburgh.
She's very.
When the police broke in on her seance and the ectoplasm shot back into her body, it burnt all her insides. And so I was wondering whether I got maybe some energy.
A clash of energy, and it's just.
Yeah, and I got burnt. Yeah. But I didn't know that at the time. Didn't know anything. But what I was going to say, that week showed me what I thought. This is really, this is what it's all about. But it's not as easy as people think. It's you try and get a circle together. You've got, I don't know. It's just it's a lot more involved. But
and
when it works,
did you do your own circle?
Yeah, I've run a couple of circles, but I don't know. See, a lot of people, they want a circle. They think it's like they want to do like mental stuff, giving messages. That's not what it's about, you see. Yeah. But you need a lot of patience. You need time, and like Nick sat in a skull project, and they used to spend, I think, most days sitting for the spirit work. That's
Nick Kyle you're talking about.
Nick Kyle,
yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the time to do it. It's finding other people have got the time to do it.
Yeah, you have to be dedicated.
You've got to be, but you have for any kind of mediumship. But it's the most evidential. I know people won't agree. It's the most evidential, to my mind, form of mediumship. It's all right saying old granny's here, but it's if you. What's some of those noises?
I'm sorry, that's my messengers on my phone getting messages.
I thought it might be from the other side.
Well, you never know. If I read them later, it might be.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, Granny's here and all that. It's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
But if Granny materialised, that's even better, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So what do you think about the young ones coming up nowadays doing their...
I don't think about any of them.
No. Do you think it's a dying with the...
That's a pun. Is that a pun? Is it a dying trade?
Yeah, that's the trade. That's the word I was looking for, something like that.
Well, I've got to be careful what I say. People think, who does he think he is? Arrogant git, you know.
Yes.
I don't go and watch things. I don't go to meetings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit through it. And again, after you've been watching and sat with his physical, that is so good.
Yes.
But I can't talk about other people. I've seen some good mediums out there,
Mm-hmm.
and people might like me, some don't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, you're good on that night, but I've seen some rubbish out there.
Would you like to teach again?
No. I haven't got the patience, really. I haven't got the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do what I tell them. No one does what I tell them.
Right.
No, obviously, you know.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It's a difficult thing. They used to say to me and to others, don't get up in front of people before you're ready. But the thing is, how do you know when you're ready?
Yes.
And that is where my Maverick thing comes in. I can't be doing what people tell me. How do I know when you're ready? I can't go by those rules. And I've just sort of go out on my own, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have had pops at me, but that's fine. Don't like me or don't like what I do. That's up to you. But I've always had the evidence there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's important.
I may not do what you want me to do, but this is how I do it. As for what's going on at the moment, which I don't think is very much, I don't really know. I'm just not really interested. And it's like everything. You do something for 10, 12, 15 years. I feel like most things, you want to move on.
Yeah. Is your family into mediumistic stuff, or?
Well, let's say the grandkids, they seem to be quite into that sort of thing. I'm not saying about the spirit stuff, but I think they will if they carry on. They've definitely got something there. I got it from my grandmother, you see.
Right, yes.
Although I was adopted, obviously it's still in the genes, I suppose. And she used to be going to seances back in the early 1900s, 1910, 11. Proper seances, yeah.
Did she read the tea leaves as well?
Probably, I don't really know.
A lot of them did in that day. That's something they always read the tea leaves for some reason.
Yeah, it's a bit hard now, though, isn't it, with tea bags?
That's true. You have to break them, squash them.
But I don't know how successful I'm doing with this interview tonight.
You're doing very well.
Am I? But
You're doing very well. I mean, do you feel that you are here for a reason in your life? Do you feel that there's something that you've come to Earth to do?
Yeah, upsetting people. Going against their rules. But is there anything I don't really know? As you know, it was only 7 weeks ago where I thought I was going to pass to the other side. I
was just going to mention that about your out-of-body experience, near-death experience, and events. I'd like to hear about that, yes. Tell us how it all started, how at the beginning, before it all came to that.
Well, I don't know. I must have picked up this COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Started with a cough, whatever. And I think it's maybe the following Monday. I started to feel a bit not too good, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't even know it was COVID. And I think the Tuesday, I was starting to feel really unwell.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was sitting on the settee, to the left of me, a man appeared, a young man, but I couldn't see his face. And he had like a brown and white check shirt on. I thought, what? Really? And as I turned to my right, I could see it was like a portal, about that big. My mum and whatever, and the spirit people. It was like they was in a tube, but halfway down, and they were talking and laughing. And I didn't think I was. Next day, same thing. The young man, spirit people. Well, after I think it was day 3, and I know I was running out of oxygen, but it wasn't. I wasn't hallucinating. I know what I was seeing.
So can I ask, you were actually lying over 3 days then?
No, more than that. More than that.
So you were actually
probably 6 days.
You're not aware of anything over a few days.
The first 3 days, but I weren't. But I saw this guy again, and I believe we were talking to the spirit world, and who were like talking to him. It was really surreal.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm starting to. I didn't realise, but I'm starting to get weaker. And I looked into this portal again. I could see it all there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then this man, this boy, he just went, like burning paper goes like poof up in the air.
Yes.
It was like that. It's like he just poof gone.
Really?
And then I got weaker.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm probably on day 4. And I'm looking into this portal. I haven't eaten anything.
For how long? 4 or 5 days, something like that?
A couple of days maybe. I might have had a little bit of something.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't realise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking in this portal. And I thought, I could just go now. I felt so ill.
Mm-hmm.
And by the next day, I don't know what was going on. And people could say, "Oh, you're hallucinating," but I know I wasn't. And I had the chance, and I thought, well, the body, this old body of mine's not up to much at the moment, so the temptation, and it's not suicidal or anything stupid like that,
Mm-hmm.
but they give me a choice. And I thought, well, I can't go. I've got 3 daughters, 7 grandkids. You can't do this. And I can understand people who are very ill,
Mm-hmm.
thinking, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And also, it's a new adventure, isn't it? Going across there. What can we get up to? I could be out haunting people tonight. I imagine that black and white film with a flower vase for flowers with flies around the room, and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, you'd be up to mischief, so you would.
I thought this sounds fun. But anyway, next thing I know, I must have passed out, and then my daughter drove 130 miles. She must have known. She tweaked somehow.
Yeah.
And the paramedic was there, and I came to. Anyway, got me to hospital. I think if I'd been there another hour, I probably would have gone.
Yes.
But anyway, here we are, 7 weeks later. I've been walking around Rendlesham Forest today. A few weeks ago, I couldn't even breathe. So
you're getting better all the time.
I'm getting better. But getting back to why am I here?
Yes.
Or why did they save me? Christmas Day, I was at my daughter's, and they showed me in a case, like a glass cabinet, if you like, not a seance cabinet. I don't know what it was. And there was all these spiritualist people, some I knew, some I didn't, outside the case. Now, again, people might think I'm being funny, but I'm not. And they said to me, we don't want you to do that anymore. And then they said, this is your epiphany. As to when, I got the phone, epiphany, Google, what does that mean?
As we do.
I thought, this is some biblical thing, isn't it? Epiphany. And it's my realization. But I don't know what my realization is. And I don't know what they want me to do. But here I am.
Did you feel after a wee while of getting home and getting back to a wee bit of routine, did you feel different in yourself after that experience of seeing the tunnel and being with your mum?
Lucky.
And you felt lucky.
I felt lucky. I'm still here.
Right. But then I don't think they really wanted you to go. This is the thing. They felt that your time wasn't ready. You've got work to do, as they would say.
Yeah, exactly. It's I was in the intensive care, and I was in there 2 days, and they put me in the room, a room on your own. And the doctors come around. He said, "I don't know how you've pulled through, quick as that." And I walking around Rendlesham today and wherever, I don't know how I couldn't have done that 3 weeks ago. I don't think so, anyway.
So you felt better about walking around today than you've done for a while?
I couldn't have done that because of my breathing. And they said it could take a year to get better.
Because it had gone into one of your lungs, didn't it?
One of your lungs
was damaged a bit.
This long COVID thing, and a lot of hair's falling out, and I've got that brain fog thing and whatever, and all the other symptoms. But I'm puffing a bit tonight, but that's maybe nerves as well.
Yeah, talking too much.
Oh, shut up then if you want. And,
I don't want you to shut up. No, I'm giving you an excuse.
Well, you know me, Tress, wittering away, but you never know what. When you've got it written out like I have there, is one thing. But when it comes, and if you're talking, if you was talking in someone's front room, but when you're doing this in front of a camera, it's difficult, and it kind of gets a bit jumbled.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry for my messengers going off all the time.
Throw the phone out.
Ticking away, I know.
But obviously that wasn't, although getting back to this mediumship and leaving it behind for a while, I'm going to do a couple of gigs, but I did a job before I got the COVID. And this must happen to other people, but I said, I can't do this anymore. And the simple reason was, you remember people, and it's like a filing cabinet opening. And I thought, I can't do this anymore because I'm not doing you any favors, me any favors, or them any favors. And unless you're going to go traipsing around the country doing different venues, then and you will remember people. And I thought, no, I can't do this. I'd like to go and do talks, rather do talks. And although the messages still come in, that is the thing. And also I'd like to talk about Rendlesham Forest as well, and what goes on down there, or did go on down there. And that all came into part with my mediumship in about 2012 as well. It all happened in about 2012.
Right. It seems to be that's a year that it's happened to quite a few people, their turning point of awakening to what was going on around them on the earth and realizing that the things were, happening, and they wanted to do things differently from what they had been doing. It seems to be a year 2012. Yes. I hear this a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd heard about Rendlesham Forest, but I'd never been there before.
Right.
And went there one evening with people, about 10 people, I think, a couple of mediums. It was maybe 11 o'clock at night, I don't know, pitch black. And a voice said to me, they're good, these voices, and they keep telling me things.
Yeah.
It weren't in my head, this was outside. And a man said to me, would you please leave the ancients and aliens alone? Well, I'll tell you what, I was out of there. And I didn't go back for about 7 or 8 weeks.
Was this at night when it was dark?
This was pitch black. Pitch black. And this weren't in my head. This was outside. I thought, I've got to get out. Let's get out of here. 7 or 8 weeks later, when you get that urge, you think, I need to do something. Well, I actually got in my car and I went back to the forest. And I found my way back along the tracks. And from that day on, I don't know, things started to happen in there. And I started getting pictures, and a little spirit girl used to show herself to me, and so on and so forth. That went on for a few years, but it's died off now. It's very quiet in there now.
And you saw some. Oh, that was the story you were saying. You saw someone like in white going across, but ended up being something else.
No. That's where I live. No, that's where I live.
That was different, right? Sorry, I'm getting a bit.
There's a graveyard over the back.
Ah, right.
A church, and I came down the road in my car, turned right onto the road, main road, and I saw this white figure over the road, and I thought, that's it, we've cracked it. Get the phone. Stuff what's coming. Don't worry about what cars are coming. Don't worry about it. Anchor up. And then another figure come out. Wafting away like this. It was a vicar. And his mate, or her mate, I think it's a female down there. I was gutted. I really thought I'd cracked it then. I thought I got photo. It'd be straight on Facebook. Look what I found. And
figures.
It was a figure.
Oh dear. Oh well.
But I thought this is it. I've got it this time. Evidence. I should have taken the picture anyway, shouldn't I?
You should have done, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've spent a lot of time in Rendlesham. It's very quiet at the moment. Still, I love the place. It's fascinating, and I'm sure things may pick up again.
But I've never been there. One day I'll get down there and enjoy having a walk around.
If you're looking for things to happen at the moment, it's not the time. It hasn't been for about 2 years. It just seems to have gone very quiet. There aren't even any animals in there.
Is there not?
Deer have gone. Such a shame, because they cut a lot of the trees down, you see.
They shouldn't touch the trees.
No,
they shouldn't touch the trees.
But there is I've had some experiences in that forest. I've got some terrific photographs in there. But I haven't been back in there after dark for about 3 years. I don't know. I think I'm getting old and maybe nervous and can't run, especially not after.
You can't run. I like that.
Especially after that COVID and a busted leg and ankle, I can't actually get around very quick.
This will get you then. You wouldn't have a chance.
No. But I have been there at night. It is a bit, obviously, like anywhere, a bit creepy. But no, it seems gone very quiet, and I don't know why.
Yes. And you went for a walk in it today. Was it quite good?
I went there today. We went to a different place. Elaine, who's on the show with me, she said that she didn't want to walk any further because she felt a pressure on her.
Right.
And Elaine's not one to make things up. So I said, I'll tell you what, we'll just go a little bit further.
Yeah.
And see what happens. And the meter, she uses one of these meters, K2 meter.
To pick anything up.
That was going mad.
Oh, very interesting.
And I don't use them. I've never used any of these things, but
no,
it was going mad.
Right. And you have your own show every Sunday on YouTube. Do you want to explain a wee bit about your show you have every Sunday on YouTube?
Yeah, we have a show on Sunday. It's called Tales from the Seance Cabinet. And the reason it's called that is because when I started, I just used my phone, sitting in the Seance Cabinet. So I thought it's a good name, isn't it? A good name as any.
Yeah.
Tales from the Seance Cabinet. And I have guests on there. I have some woman on there called some Scottish woman, Tress, Blair or something. She comes on and whittles away. She comes on and whittles away, don't you? And that's very good.
Laughs all the
And yeah, we have a different guest every week.
So if anybody's interested, they can go along and listen on a Sunday to your show.
Yeah, and if there's any physical mediums out there who want to come and just chat and tell us about what you do and how you do it, that would be awesome as well. But it's just it's supposed to go on for an hour, but it normally goes on for 2. Yeah. It just, I don't know, it's very laid back and I don't know,
very enjoyable.
Just get into it and get lots of questions. So we get people from different parts of the world coming on and watching us, and I think it's good. And I feel that this is the way, because I believe spiritualism, mediumship, you've got to get it out there.
Yes,
it's not just in a local church or a local hall. This is going out to a lot of people, and we've had people from Russia, Pakistan, India, all over them. You've seen them, haven't you, Tress?
South Korea, Canada, America. Yes, everywhere.
I think it's great.
Well, it's getting to the people, as you say, because of the lockdowns over the couple of years. Some of elderly people are frightened still to go out, and just people that, don't get out much. It's good that they've got the Sunday with you and they can spend the time enjoying the 2 hours, listening to your conversations and even learning from people
listen to our ramblings and me trying to get a word in edgeways.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why.
Very enjoyable.
But obviously, I know I probably spoke too much tonight. But what else we spoke? It's difficult, isn't it? Talking like this, I find it very difficult just to talk like this. But I'm just looking in my book, seeing what else.
But interesting. I mean, people will be. You'll help so many people just with you talking and them tuning in to listen to your story, because that will resonate with maybe some of their life stories and what they've been through, or maybe they're going through mediumship themselves and looking for a wee bit answers to things that maybe you've answered tonight for them as well.
I couldn't. As I said, I didn't intend doing this, but I did go and try and find help. But I'm sorry, but all I got fed was a load of BS. And I trying to find what I was looking for. And the answers, oh, we don't do that, or we don't, or it's, it's all got about poltergeists. And really, I didn't find really very many people that knew what they were talking about. And that's when I went to that conference. I thought, well, I found people that got some idea. But finding people who think outside the box, that's really what it is. You've got to think outside the box. And you might not be popular with everybody, but hey, so what? You know, I don't want to be the same as everybody else.
No.
You know.
But everybody's on a different journey as well, and maybe your journey's just going to be completely different now from everyone else's, and you're here to teach. You've come back to maybe teach, as you say.
But I found a lot of people in this spiritualist game, they try and ram this stuff down your throat, and it didn't resonate with me, none of it. It just seemed nonsense. You might as well. And the other thing is, and I don't read the Bible, but I know it says in the Bible, this is what I don't get. They do all these hymns and prayers, but it says in the Bible, you must not associate with mediums, seers, prophets, etc. So I don't know even know where the religious bit comes in.
There's a lot could be said about that, but I don't think we should say too much. We just don't know, do we? This is it. It's well, like a lot of stuff.
It doesn't actually. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit.
No. Yeah.
And I've had rows with Christians, church people.
Yes.
Not looking for it, Tress. I don't go around looking for trouble. I just happen to be sitting minding my own business, and someone said to me, "Oi, you about doing this and black magic and all this," and you try and explain. I mean, they're dead against us. But I've never, and I know other people, I don't understand where the religious bit comes into what we do.
Yeah.
But I think if you're just honest with yourself and honest with everybody else, and don't try and pull the wool over people's eyes, and have respect for those on the other side, the spirit people, the guides, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And they'll teach you. They'll teach you. They'll show you where to go.
Yeah, they'll be there for you all the time. I mean, if you're out to make lots of money out of it and you don't respect them, I mean, it's not going to happen, is it? It might happen a wee while, but not for the time that's needed. You
know, I've said to people, I get all this information.
Yeah.
And I know it's not coming from because I'm not that clever. And years ago, I wouldn't have even spoken out like I do. But it comes in and it's like they're feeding you all the time. Go on, this is what you should say. And again, I've tried to explain to people how I work. I can't talk about other people. And when I stand up, I don't meditate and all that stuff. I just stand up. It's like they take control in like an altered state. And what comes out of my mouth is them. It's not me.
No, you're speaking for.
That comes out, yeah. So it's not a trance state, but it's an altered state. It's taken a long time, maybe, probably 10 years, I suppose. They've been working on me. I haven't been working on it. I'm pretty lazy, really. But they've been working on me for
yeah, they kept pushing you and pushing you. Come on, get on with it. Yeah, well, you've got work to do. You've got to.
But now, I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I'm not quite sure. Don't know.
I'm sure it'll all happen, but I'm sure things will come along.
I've had 12, 15 years out of having some fun and doing something I didn't even think about I would be doing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
So now it's work. Now there's something to do with work for them that you've.
Hmm.
It's all planned. It's all going to happen. Yeah.
It's all planned. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually been happening over the past few. Well, it's just started.
But you know, I'm very much into the older mediums, like I say, the Helen Duncan and Dee Dee Hume from Edinburgh and people like that. Alec Harris, all these mediums that I call mediums, physical mediums. I'm very, very much interested in those people. That was mine.
So your time. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise my phone was going to go off all night like that. I usually put it through in another room, but I forgot tonight.
But,
Do you have one particular medium in your life that you felt that influenced you into to doing what you're doing as well? Somebody that you regard as.
a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we had a circle, not here, friends, and Dee Dee Hume came in, and in his gear, Scottish stuff. And I've been reading up on him, and he was born in Edinburgh. Then he went to America, but then came back. And what he did, he spent a lot of time in a place called Annerley. So you've got Crystal Palace, Annerley, Penge, South London. And I thought, that's strange. We go 1800 and something we go back to. And I thought, that's really strange, isn't it? Because my dad used to live just off of this Annerley Road, Annerley Park Road, I think it was called. I thought, that's strange. Well, it's one of these big houses, and starts to read up on Daniel. And then I got into the table tipping and like the levitation. Well, Daniel Douglas Hume, even Houdini tried to catch him out and it didn't. He couldn't do it. I don't know whether this took place in Annerley or somewhere else. It's just said London. Daniel there were 3 stories up in this house. And they were people saying, you can't, this is all fake and whatever. Apparently he went into the next room, shut the door, went in the next room, and they heard a window opening. When they looked out of their window, Daniel, 3 stories up, is levitating outside the window. Wow. No wires, no scaffolding, no nothing. He then opened the window and went back in the room again.
Right.
I think this guy is awesome. And I did a job just before the lockdown, and there were 2 girls there from Edinburgh, and I've never seen them before. And this Scotsman stood behind. I said, I've got a gentleman here in a kilt, and it's this. I didn't say he's your granddad. I just said, is he a relation of yours? And they said no. The next day, I found out that Sean Connery passed that evening.
Right.
Well, I thought, well, why would Sean Connery probably come one of my gigs? You know, he's got better things to do, isn't he? In this place, it was in Lowestoft, called the Flint House. It was a restaurant. I'd already seen an Oliver Cromwell type person in there, and other people. A few people have seen spirits in there. And I'm wondering now whether that Scotsman was Daniel Douglas Hume.
Right.
He was from Edinburgh. These 2 girls were from Edinburgh.
Yeah, could be.
And these guys fascinate me. But he's been in the seance room, and as I say, it's a coincidence that he actually lived or stayed in the area where I actually grew up, not far from where I grew up.
Very good. So he was the one that's always sort of in your thoughts.
Yeah, and then with the table tipping and the
table tipping,
levitation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, Tress, I have to say, I
Mm-hmm.
only work on the ground floor.
Right.
Because if I'm upstairs and maybe he gets some idea and takes me out the window, I ain't going to be too happy.
You want to be able to have the ground on easier.
I'll stay on the ground. And people might laugh at this, say, what's this bloke on?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, there's always people working with us
Mm-hmm.
from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Apart from your
and by the way, I know I'm half Scottish, but I started speaking Scottish that night.
Did you?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh.
I kind of knew and all the rest of it.
Right.
But it didn't just end there.
A
couple of weeks later, I was in the supermarket,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, I started speaking Scottish again.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh God, what's going on?
Oh.
Am I possessed?
So someone's coming through. Someone's been coming through for a wee while, and just maybe trying to connect with you, and then they've gone away after.
Yeah, but I don't need that. I don't need the middle of Morrison's, or Transfiguration. And but yeah, that is, as I say, I can't. We've all got somebody
mm-hmm.
who guides us and puts things in our mind. I'm sure he does.
So do you know your guides then? Do you feel that you particularly have a guide that's there that you can connect with, or is it just
this
come in occasionally?
When I thought I was going to pass away,
mm-hmm.
someone said that. This Peter, his name was, who was sitting with me. He could have been a guardian angel, couldn't he? I don't know.
Yes.
I couldn't see his face.
Mm-hmm.
But I know someone looks after me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't believe in 7 weeks I've turned around to being fairly fit again and doing what I'm doing. But I let them guide me.
Strong belief in yourself that you can heal yourself, because we can heal ourselves. As you know, I always go on about healing and how you can heal yourself because you have this positivity about yourself,
But I don't know. It's
So apart from your near-death experience, have you ever had any out-of-body experiences where you felt that you've been out of body anywhere or happenings like that?
Not that I'm aware of, but I've had people tell me that they see me in their room at night.
Oh, very interesting. So you've time traveled through the...
It is. The trouble is, when you live on your own, you've got no witnesses. I ain't been anywhere, mate. I've been told that a few times, not recently. And I thought, well, yeah, maybe you do go out of your body. I don't know. I'm not aware of it. I'm not going to say I am, because I'm not.
Yes.
I think that would freak me out anyway.
But finding yourself standing somewhere else when you should be sleeping.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'd be frightened. I wouldn't get back again. But people have said over the years they've seen me. I don't know. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. Well, ain't many people. Ain't many of me about.
No, I'm sure they recognise you. See you.
But all I really want is people to understand and believe, in what I'm saying or what we're saying, rather than And I don't. Some of it is hard to understand. I'm sure it's hard to. You think, oh, I don't know, this geezer on something, or she on something, and no, I'm not. When I first did my first ever platform job with Catherine, I had a photograph taken, and I've transfigured into about 4 or 5 different people.
Right.
And I didn't know what transfiguration was.
Do you know who the people you
No idea.
Did you not?
No idea.
Nobody else you would know either, maybe?
Probably guides. I've transfigured since. And then I went through that phase where I'd be walking around and things would fly off shelves. That's kind of stopped now. I don't know if that's them or some kind of kinetic energy type thing. There's lots of things to look at before you think, oh, it's spooks, or it could be anything.
Yes. Yeah. So much going on around us that we have to link into at different times.
But I have to say, I've had some fun with it.
And I'm sure you're still having fun doing it at times.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting here now thinking I've been waffling for about an hour and a bit. I haven't got a clue what I've been talking about.
Well, you've done very well.
I don't see it that way. I'm thinking, I bet that was a right jumble. And
no, you've done very well.
Really? Well,
I don't think you've done many interviews, have you? I think this maybe.
I've done a couple, but I don't ever look back on them. No. I don't look back on my Sunday night gigs.
No.
I just think, well, you know. But I suppose, yeah, it's so much gone on, so much to talk about.
Yes.
And getting into some like sections.
Yes.
About jumping, it's quite difficult. Jumping from one to another.
Yeah.
And when we finished, I think, oh, that happened. This something else happened.
Yeah, you forget all the wee bits that should have been in between. But I mean, what you've said tonight's been brilliant. You've got a lot of information there.
And someone asked me last night, actually, do I see spirits? Well, I don't see them just walking down the street. But I see them as I'm working with them. And also, if I go to a funeral, which I don't go to many, but I always see that person standing by the coffin.
Yes.
And that came about probably about 10 years ago. So, yeah, I do see them.
Do you ever hear someone coming in a different language speaking to you, and you're trying to understand what they're saying? Or do all the voices that you hear come in your own language, so you actually understand what they are saying? Or do you think that you've got somebody that's coming in that's maybe French or Italian, or, you know, just speaks a different language, but they're speaking in a different language, but you're actually listening to them in your own language because you can make out what they're saying that way? It's one to
No, I'm not sure. I don't hear them all the time. Freak me out. I'm the biggest wuss in the business, Tress, so I really am. Today, this is really weird. I was going to meet Elaine at Rendlesham Forest. And I always put my keys somewhere where I can find them. Well, this morning, I can't find my keys.
Oh.
I thought, God, have I looked them in my car yesterday? Anyways, something went crash. I went in the bathroom, nothing. Nothing's moved. Anyway, I'm still wanting around my keys. Everything's gone everywhere. And then something said, go and look over there. And there's like some towels and things. This associates now with the bathroom. And my jeans are there. And as I felt down, there's some towels and stuff back. Say that. There's my car keys. I'm now half hour late. But I never I never leave them in my pocket.
No.
So was that crash I heard saying bathroom, towels?
Yeah, it all links in.
It all links in.
Yeah, or it could be a wee spirit girl that's in your house.
Yeah, the spirit girl I've got with me. Yeah, who, she's a nice kid, but she has caused me a few problems in the past. But I've only just saw that association of thoughts, isn't it? Yeah, crash, bang, nothing moved. Towels, there's your keys.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do it.
Look in there, would you?
I'm sure they do it on purpose. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
some weight. We'll get some weight off him. Let's have him ripping
Yeah.
their place apart. You know. Yeah, the little girl. She's yeah, that was a strange sort of meeting. Me and her.
Mhm.
I saw her family.
Mhm.
They were like Victorian types. The mother.
Uh-huh.
Oh, when I see her looking at me, she looked really. I wouldn't have wanted to be married to her for sure. She looked really stern and gruesome,
Yeah.
giving me the evils. This is true.
Mhm.
And the old man, he seemed all right. And it sounds dark. Probably people watching this think he's
Can
nuts.
I ask? Can I ask where you first met them?
This was in Kent.
Okay. Right.
I'd given someone a reading, which I don't do anymore. And this
Right.
man came in,
Mhm.
but this lady couldn't take him. I thought,
Mhm.
I don't. Well, I then a few weeks later saw him again, but then
Mhm.
he's with his wife. It's where I was living,
Mhm.
and a medium said to me, I had like a little studio recording thing.
Mhm.
He said, "There's a little girl there with you." I said, "Is there?" And I thought it must be the kid that's with these people.
Mhm.
And he said, "The only time she's really happy is when she's with you
Mhm.
and you're playing music." So, okay. Felt a stroke in the arm there.
Mhm.
He said, "But you know, she's not too keen on other women, you know." I found that out later. Seriously,
Yeah.
I believe
Mhm.
she started a fire
Mhm.
outside.
Mhm.
Um, I've had all sorts of things, honestly.
Right.
And then she threw some pictures off my wall. I put them back. They come again. They come across the room,
Mhm.
and I think, what is wrong with this? But
Mhm.
she can't say too much. I don't want to upset her. And um, I know people probably think this isn't true, but it is true.
Mhm.
So she's been with me quite some time.
Mhm.
I sometimes hear like a youngster talking to me,
Mhm.
but she's there. She obviously looks out for me.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what to say really. I would say that I saw this girl maybe,
Mhm.
I don't know, 15, 16 years ago.
Mhm.
And then mediums have picked up who don't know me. And
Right. Mhm.
yeah, it's quite funny.
Yeah. Do you think she was around you when you were unwell, when you were going through that time
Oh,
before you went into the
I would
hospital?
think so.
Mhm.
I would think so.
Mhm.
Um, but I could hear something banging there.
I heard that too. I
Yeah,
heard that too. That bang. Yeah.
yeah. We all have these guides, but it
Mhm.
just seems sometimes it's a bit hard to
Mhm.
to understand it. I was in a cemetery in Woodbridge,
Mhm.
or let's get back 2012 with Steph, and there's a little cemetery there.
Mhm.
I think it's all overgrown now. Anyway, it was a lovely day. It was in
Mhm.
March, lovely blue sky, and she said, "Oh, I'll show. We'll have a look in here."
Mhm.
Went in, sat down, and at the last gravestone in this line,
Mhm.
a young girl appeared in like a candy stripe, you know, like I don't know, Ed Walding, I think.
Ah.
She had blonde hair,
Mhm.
and she said to me, "My name is Sarah Brown."
Heard that
Oh, yeah.
name before.
Really? And she said, "I want you to do something for me."
Mhm.
So I ain't doing this is telepathic. So I ain't doing nothing for you. It's Wednesday, half day closing, isn't it?
Mhm.
So I said to Steph, go. I didn't tell her what had happened. I said, go and tell me what the name is on that end gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Brown. Jesus
Oh.
Christ. Yeah. I thought, oh God, what's going on here? I said, I want you to do something. I said, I ain't doing it. With that, the wind picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, what? I thought, all right, I'll do it. What do you want? What do you want? Telepathically, right?
Yes, yes.
And I said to Steph, there's this girl here. I said, could you see her? She said, no. I said, what do you want? She said, I want you to go and find the grave of George Brown and Duncan.
Right.
Fair enough. So he goes back to Steph's house, goes on the computer. Took a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
We went through the municipal cemetery in it. Found it, George Brown. Terrific. Who's this Duncan character? Oh, I can't find him. Well, the next day we went to the cemetery, this big cemetery, and there we found George Brown. And what I don't understand, above George Brown was the name Sarah.
Right.
This is really odd. Sarah Brown, she's about 12 years old. And then they were all Quakers, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it was around about the time the Titanic went down. So who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Anyway, can't find this Duncan.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we're driving along round the back way, and all of a sudden we saw this road. Duncan. Duncan. Good God. What she meant was, if you find Duncan, the road, you'll find the grave.
Right. That's really interesting, isn't it?
And I've been back there since.
Uh-huh.
Never seen her since.
No, maybe that was just something.
That was really bad. My first time when I actually saw a spirit and then making contact with me like that.
She was just waiting for the right person to come along.
Just wait, yeah, muggins to come along. She was I can imagine her being very bossy. She looked that time, you will do it. I could have.
Yeah, and you did it.
Yeah, and I did it. Once those clouds started to roll, I thought, oh God.
Yeah, so that's
so, you know, all you budding mediums out there, or whoever you are, don't ever be surprised, you know, because I'm not looking for them. They just appear, don't they? This is the thing. They just seem to appear. And if
they'll always appear at the right person. They'll always come to the right person that they know that they'll listen and be genuine. Yes.
And so I've had witnesses to all this. It's not like I'm making it. No point making things up. But I think if you're of the right, I don't know, vibration maybe, and they will show themselves to you and connect with you like that.
Yeah, it's all to do with vibration, love, and intent that they'll come in and they'll know that they're safe around you. But they'll soon go away if they feel that they're not, you know, you're not being genuine with them. It happens.
Because we got in a shop, actually, a sweet shop, and the girl in there said, have you been in this little cemetery? I said, no. So go in it. And then I did some couple of readings for her and her family. And so, it was okay. It's but I don't make a habit of going around graveyards or anything.
Oh, I like going in the cemeteries. I like going in the graveyards. I have one at the back of my house. And
yeah, you same as me, aren't you? Same as me, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy going up there, yes. Having a walk around.
But I am the biggest wuss in the business because if I hear them, someone come up the hallway or something.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I live in a bungalow, but I can hear them walking across the roof.
All right, so that it's not the birds. I've got the birds. I think, what's that? The birds that's on the roof.
They got to be bloody big birds. And I think, oh God, you know, I get freaks.
Yeah, I think we all do at times. I mean, it's only a human nature thing in the human body that you would get freed, isn't it?
You know, you think,
Doesn't matter how fearless you think you are, you do get it.
but when I was sort of drifting off to the other side just for Christmas, I weren't nervous about this young man sitting next to me,
Right.
and I weren't nervous about seeing those on the other side, which is strange, isn't it?
Just like a feeling that you knew them and going home to see them again.
I don't know.
Yeah, just a comfort feeling being around them.
And then after one of our nights, I don't know who was on that night, one of our Sundays, that I went into the other room, and it was the next morning, and all the strings had been slackened off one of my guitars. That I weren't happy about.
Yeah.
And I've told that kid, you leave my stuff alone.
Yeah.
I do tell him, or her, or whoever, listen, I get,
Maybe she's saying, come on, I want you to start playing more.
Yeah, I'll say, why do you undo those strings? And I don't just mean that, I mean undone them. They're all flopping around.
Oh, my goodness.
And I thought,
You
what
think,
do you do that for?
And you know it's nobody else because you're just there on your own, so you know it's nobody else.
And no, it's nobody else. I'm on my own.
Yeah.
And I say, leave my stuff alone.
Yeah.
What am I going? I can't even see her.
Yeah. See, when I get up in the morning, I want to see my strings back together again. But that never happens.
I was a little bit annoyed about it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because you have to spend the time putting them all back again.
Someone just touched my head there. Who's that?
Anyway, have you got any more to say, or
No, I think I've witted enough. I've probably drove everybody mad, whoever watches this.
No, I'm sure they'll all be very interested in what you've been saying.
I don't know. I'm never interested in it. So
it's good to hear all about your life and about
bits of my life. I won't go into all of it.
No. Enough of it.
No, it weren't that bad.
Oh, bless.
But no, what the only thing I'd say to people is, seriously, you have to listen to people, I know. But don't get bogged down with all the rules, the regulations, and it takes so long, you have to do this and you have to do that. If you've got the ability for them to communicate with you, they will.
Yeah.
They will do.
Yes. Just take a wee bit out of everything and make up your own mind about it.
Yeah, make your own mind.
Make your own mind up about how you feel about things.
And I don't understand why people want to do mediumship, because it's okay, but I don't know. I never really thought about it. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I can do it. But there are a few downsides to it.
Yes, there always is, isn't there, with things that you do in life.
You can be woken up at night. The other day, something prodded on the bed. I don't know. No, I can't say there are any downsides, really, I suppose, when I think about it.
I suppose when you've lived with it, as long as you've lived with it, you get used to all these things around you. So
it can be frustrating. I would say that it can sometimes be frustrating because, you're not quite sure what you want me to do. But they've got me out of trouble quite a few times, I'm telling you. Once you understand to listen to them,
then you can decide what they're saying. And
they
what
got me out of a few scrapes before now. So,
they're always guiding you and trying to help you in the things you're doing. There's a lot of good out of it. Yes.
So that's it. Is it Tress?
Yes. So this will be going up on Maverick Medium's YouTube channel, and it'll also be going up on Echo Whispers.
Yeah, put it on Echo Whispers first. You go first.
Well, anyone wants to join Echo Whispers Facebook group, just go on to Echo Whispers, Awakening to the Universe, or Echo Whispers, if you would like to be a part of it all. And yes, we'll be putting this up at some point, so that everyone can listen to Maverick Medium.
If you want to,
I'm sure they will.
Mm-hmm. But if you're if you're fed up on a Saturday night,
mm-hmm.
there's a Zoom group on Echo Whispers, which normally turns into
everything,
chaos. And
chaotic.
The only thing is that there's a woman on there keeps you talking till 2 a.m. if she can.
I wonder who that is.
I won't give her name away.
To this woman. Yes, well, you have to join the Facebook group first before you can come onto the Zoom group.
Yeah, and if you want to look at Maverick Medium on House from the Sounds Cabinet, like and subscribe. I mean, there's about 65 videos on there of all different people.
Yeah,
it's some interesting people.
It's really interesting. It is good. It's good on a Sunday to have the show that you have, to listen to. So I would advise anybody to go on a Sunday and just enjoy it. It's live, and you can put up your questions on there, and we're
always looking for new people who people who
like to come on as guests.
Physical, come on as guests, physical mediums or trance mediums. Yeah, anyone different.
Or anything to do with the UFOs.
I didn't get. Yeah, we haven't spoke about the UFOs tonight, have we?
No, we haven't. We kept it to the mediumship. Yeah, that can maybe be another time we'll discuss UFOs. And, So that's very interesting, and this will be going up on Echo Whispers YouTube. That's right.
I won't be on for a week or two. I'll wait till this dies down a bit.
We always get a laugh, all of us.
I'm terrible. I don't watch any of our playbacks. I just think, I know what I'm going to say before we come on, but when you come on and that starts recording,
yes,
it goes out the window and you just witter and waffle on.
Yeah, I mean, you can have everything written in front of you, you can have everything in your head, but really it just all comes in automatically as you go along to speak to anyone, so it's been it's been a good evening. I've really enjoyed your company and discussing all the things about mediumship, and it's very interesting, and I'm sure everybody else will tune in and listen.
I hope so, because you won't see me again for a while. I'm going to hide. Walk around with a bag on my head.
We won't let you hide, don't you worry. You'll not get a chance to hide. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
comment below and ask you questions, but thank you for coming on and spending the time with me this evening. It's been very enjoyable.
No problem. Most enjoyable.
Until the next time.
Adios, folks.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, everyone.